welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Nicole. I'm a wife and mum to two beautiful children, Penelope who is 3 and Henry who is 7 months old. We have recently been to Turkey on our family vacation, holiday, however you want to say it. So I thought I would share with you some top tips on travelling with two young children for my fellow parents out there who may be worried about what to expect when you're going on holiday with little children. I've had quite a few people messaging me off the back of seeing my pictures and my vlogs from holiday. If you've not seen my vlogs, I will list them below from holiday if you want to have a look at where we went. They are quite lengthy, but I wanted to just keep all the footage in for memories and what have you. That is why I'm doing this separate video on my top 10 tips of travelling with two young children. So if you want to hear what they are, please keep on watching. First of all, what type of holiday do you want? And you need to be realistic. Now, me and Kieran, pre-kids, didn't like a resort holiday. We don't like sitting down and sitting there. I can't sit down. I'm not one of them people that can sit and relax. I'm a very person, if you get what I mean by that. I've got to be up doing something or else I get so bored, and when I'm bored I start like getting over thoughtful and I get anxiety, and I'm just not the type of person that can sit and do nothing. So we always went on like action-packed holidays. We went to like Florida, Vegas. Probably the most relaxed holiday we went to was Thailand for our honeymoon, and even then we got so bored that we ended up booking like day trips out. But those action-packed holidays aren't practical for us with children. It would be a nightmare for me with Penelope and Henry to try and take them here, there and everywhere, because one, Penelope doesn't want to cooperate all the time. Two, Henry's only 7 months old. You can't really explain to him what's going on. They don't know what's going on. So you need to be realistic. But then again, that might be perfect for your lifestyle and your children. You might think, oh, an action-packed holiday, that's not a problem for us. You want to go and do that. That is good. You might think, I want to have a villa holiday because I want to be private. I don't want other people around me, and I've never travelled with my kids before. I'm a little bit wary of how to be in front of other people all the time with my children, which is perfectly understandable. I want to have that privacy where we have our own pool and we've not got other people bothering us. Perfect. It is absolutely lovely. On the other hand, for me, I went on a villa holiday 2 years ago and I didn't like it because I found like I was cleaning up all the time and cooking, etc. It wasn't really a holiday for me. So when we were looking at a holiday, we wanted a resort holiday where everything was there, the entertainment was there, stuff for the kids, stuff for us, done. And that was perfect for us, and we had an amazing time because our holiday fit our boxes, what we wanted. Make sure that you be realistic. Is your holiday going to tick the boxes what you want? So you may not be able to go on a sunbathing holiday anymore. You may not be able to go on that action-packed holiday, but you might be able to. Your kids might love it. Your kids might go along with it. It is purely your family's needs, your children's needs, but just be realistic. You've got a budget in there as well. Do you want to do a self-catering where it's going to be a bit cheaper to go there, but you're going to need spending money on food? Or do you want to do an all-inclusive where you pay maybe a little bit more to get there, but all your food and drinks included? But would that be boring for you because you want to go out and eat out every night, so there's no point paying the extra? Just work that all in. Make sure that you find a holiday that's going to suit your needs, suit your budget and suit your way of life, how you want your holiday to be. We don't get these holidays very often, so you need to make sure it's what you want when you're there, that you can get the most out of it. What to pack is probably a really big one. Now, I'm an overpacker. I am a self-proclaimed overpacker. Hi, my name's Nicole and I overpack. I pack for a month holiday when I'm going away for 5 days. That's me. Kieran went mad at me this time because I packed about 15 pairs of shoes for Penelope and she wore like 3 pairs of them. So he said like next year when we go on holiday that I'm not allowed to take all that stuff. And he's right. Do you know what? He really is right, because it was just a waste of packing space and a waste of time. Just really think about what you need. What sort of things do the kids need? I bought Henry, and I mentioned this in one of my vlogs, I bought Henry outfits for every daytime and every night time, and I got really stressed about finding stuff in his size. And you know what? He was asleep every night, so no one saw his outfit. He could have gone out in his pyjamas every night. And during the day, he was pretty much just in his nappy. So I spent all that money on his little outfits. I mean, yeah, he can wear them at home now, but I was stressing about getting them for holiday. No one knew what he had on because he was in his pram asleep. So just think about that. If you've got a little baby, you don't really need to think of the outfits and stuff like that. Don't waste your money. Save your money for other things. They're going to be asleep at night, things like that. So just make sure you know what to pack. So do your kids need floaties? You're going to have your nappies in there. You're going to have your formula. If they're formula fed, you might need to take food with you for babies, you know, like the little pouches and what have you. Do you need to take some toys if they're older children? Do they have any like medication that they need to take? You need to think of all the things that you're going to need to be able to provide them for that time. You just need to think of everything that's going to be being packed in there and what you need to take and what you really actually don't need to take with you. Sun creams. Now, if you're like me, before you had kids, you probably had sun cream, but you weren't really that bothered about it because you're an adult, you don't really care, you're not really that fussed. But sun cream is so important. Like the amount of people I know that are getting skin cancer these days, and I see a lot of people with sun damage, and I think it's so bad. So I wear like quite a high factor, but it's not about the high factor. And especially since I've had kids, I've really took note of this because obviously I really care that their skin does not get damaged. It's not about the factor, it's about the UVA, UVB protection, and there will be a little star thing on like the front of the bottle, and it says how many stars that it is, and you want to get the 5-star for yourself and for your children because you want the best protection, especially for your kids. Don't think, oh, I'll go and buy the most expensive brand and that's the best, because there is a few brands out there that are the most expensive and they're like 3-star, whereas I got a Primark one for £2.90 and an Aldi one for £1.50, and they were both 5 stars. Neither kid burned whilst we were away. Penelope was in the sun all day, every day, because she wouldn't come in the shade. She wanted to be in that pool all the time, and I was getting so worried she was going to burn, and she never burned. This sun cream was brilliant. Yeah, I wore the same sun cream, and I just thought it was a really good sun cream. It goes on really nice. So it's not always about the most expensive sun cream. It's not always about the highest factor sun cream. It is about the UVA, UVB protection, or whatever it is. So make sure you're getting a 5-star UVB protection for your sun cream. This was a big debate that I had with Kieran before we went on holiday. He was adamant no, and I was like, we really need this. And I spoke to a few other people. I did a poll on Instagram and a lot of people agreed with me, is that Penelope was 3 when we went away. She doesn't have a pram at home. She doesn't use a pram at home, but would we need one on holiday? Kieran's like, no, wasting our money. We don't need one. She walks everywhere, but a few people said it will ruin your holiday. If you don't take a buggy for it, it will ruin your time. And you know what? It really would have ruined our holiday if we didn't take one. I did the poll on Instagram and I got like 90% said take one. And that's what I said, like, Kieran, look, all these people have said we need to take one. We got a My Baby buggy because I already had a My Baby one anyway, and I know they're really good buggies and they're quite inexpensive as well. So I got that buggy, we took them both. It was really good because, like, at the airport, strapped her in, no toddler running off in the airport. On holiday every day, we had this little routine where we would put her in the pram, take her for an ice cream, and then on the way back up to the room, she would have a nap in the pram. One day we didn't take it down and she walked up to the room, we put her on the bed, she didn't fall asleep, she didn't have a nap, and she was a sod. She was an absolute nightmare all night because she was tired. It wasn't her fault, she was tired. If we'd have took the pram down and put her in the pram, she falls asleep in the buggy. Every day then we took that buggy and she would fall asleep on the way back up to the room, she'd have a nap, she'd wake up all refreshed, have a nice evening, have a nice meal, go to the kids mini disco, she'd watch the show, and then we'd push her back up to the room and then she'd go to bed. So I would have found that if we'd have took just the one pram, it would have ruined our holiday because she would have been a little rat bag all holiday if she didn't get her naps in. And it spoils it for yourself as well, because it spoils it for them because they're tired and grouchy, and it spoils it for you because you don't want to be going up to your room at like 8 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night when you're on holiday. You want to be out having fun and enjoying the entertainment. So taking that buggy for her really helped us to be able to do that. This is a big one, is make sure you research what you can take through at security at the airport and get organised for security. Like, it's stressful enough when you don't have kids. You've got to get your phones out or whatever, you've got to get your electronics out. Did you take your belt off, take your shoes off? So obviously with kids it's a lot more difficult because you need to make sure that you're taking enough bottles with you. So this is only for obviously bottle-fed babies. If you breastfeed, that's completely different. But for a bottle-fed baby like mine, I needed to take bottles for in the airport, on the plane. If you get delayed, because you don't know, you could get delayed, so you need more bottles. So it's those kind of things that you need to think about. For Henry, he likes his bottles room temperature. So I boil the bottle up and put the lid on and leave it. And then when he's ready for his milk, I'll add the powder. I don't do it, like when we're at home, I'll just do it ready for when it's his next bottle and it'll cool down in time. But for going to the airport, I think I did 3 or 4 bottles made up ready with boiling hot water, and then took 2 empty bottles with me, so that if we did get delayed or anything, they could just fill the boiling water in the airport for me into the empty bottles. And then I took a sealed pack of formula with me. You can order at my airport, which is Manchester Airport, you can order formula in to the boots that's there. I didn't do that myself, but I know other people that have done it, and you go and collect it at the airport. You can also take through pre-made, so I don't like to pre-make it. I like to do the boiled water and then add the powder as and when you need it, because I don't mind pouring some water away if it's not been used, but if I'm pouring all the milk away all the time, then it's just wasteful. So it's up to you whether you pre-make it or if you want to make it once you get through there. You can order it. There's all different ways. Just be mindful that some people do get stopped at security to check it and they have to taste it. So if you've pre-made the bottle and you have to drink that formula, just think about that. Just think about it. I wouldn't mind tasting the water, but the milk, oh, it stinks. Oh. You can take through security at Manchester Airport, I know, is 1,000 millilitres, so like a litre of water, liquid or whatever through for your kids, which it's normally 100 ml, but they've put it up to 1,000 for them. So just bear in mind, as long as it's under that, you've not got a problem. And also bear in mind, because I know another lady was having a problem at security, and I felt so sorry for her because her airline told her that they could take through coconut milk for her little girl because she had an allergy, but because her little girl was 3, they said that children that are 3 and above can't have that exception rule where they have it over 100 ml, so she had to throw that away. And I felt really sorry for her because a little girl was getting all upset that her milk was getting thrown away, because they don't understand it. Don't only just read your airline provider, but go on your actual airport website and have a look, which I did. I went on the Manchester Airport one and it said what I could take. And another thing I would say is everything that is going to be taken out at security. So I took my cameras and my laptop with me through security because I didn't want to check it in luggage. And then also we had the bottles. I didn't have anything else that needed to come out, so I made sure all that stuff was in one bag together, so everything else could go on the conveyor belt, but everything in that bag was coming out, so I knew that that was there. So when we got to security, it was like, right, that's coming out there. And bear in mind, it's going to take you a bit longer because they're going to have to individually put it in different trays rather than whacking it all in one tray. It has to go in individual. At Manchester Airport, they had a special help lane, so people with kids or with disabilities, they got extra help in this lane. Other people are a little bit mindful that you're going to be a little bit longer. You've checked your bags in, go and stand to one side, get everything out that you know is going to need to come out, and then just go straight to security and then just sort it out, and they'll help you out with that. But just be organised about it, because it gets hectic and you've got the trays are coming out here, there and everywhere, and you just need to be on it, and you need to know like what's going in the trays and what's staying in your bag, and that can be quite stressful to some people, so just make sure you're on it with that. And also, if you don't need to take it in your hand luggage, this is what another thing is, Kim's like, can it not just go in the suitcase? So whatever you can pack in your suitcase, pack in your suitcase and check it in. Don't take it in your hand luggage, because you're going to have enough to deal with if your suitcase gets rifled through. If you're taking a hand luggage one in, they might rifle through it and you've got everything packed in there, and it's just hassle. So just be mindful of that. Money at the airport. So you've got your spending money for your holiday, but you didn't factor in the fact that your plane got delayed and you're going to need to spend some money on drinks at the airport, and you're going to need some lunch and etc. So, and your kids are bored, they want to go in the arcade, things like that. So factor in that sometimes that you're going to need some spending money for the airport as well. We normally always like to go to Giraffe at Manchester Airport. It's normally our little tradition, but this time we didn't have enough time to go there, so we were trying to find like something to eat, and everywhere was sold out. We must have been going at like the worst possible time. So just be mindful that maybe get there a bit earlier if you want to get some dinner there, or if you've booked your meal on your plane, do you really need to eat at the airport? You're just spending extra money there. Kids entertainment, take things to entertain them, or you might end up spending money in the arcades or whatever, and it gets pricey. So just think about that. Don't think, oh well, all the parents have said to take this, because will your child be entertained by that? Loads of people told me to take colouring books with Penelope. She hates colouring. A sticker book, yeah, but colouring, no, she's not going to like that. So tailor your entertainment needs for your child, because not everybody's children like the same thing. Make sure you've got stuff there to keep you entertained, because delays happen. You don't want to risk that you're stuck there for ages and you've got nothing to entertain you. Leading on from the entertainment in the airport, you've also got your entertainment on the plane. So one good thing we found that I didn't know that they did, when you buy DVDs, a lot of them have digital downloads. So you can download the film onto an app. The app is called Flickster, and it kind of keeps your films in like a library, and you just pick and choose when you want them. So we put Sing on for Penelope, and she sat and watched the whole thing on the plane on the way there. We didn't really hear a peep out of her. She was so good. And then she watched us taking off and landing, but it kept her entertained for the whole flight, and she loved it. So have a look at what DVDs you've got that could download, like the digital downloads on there. I think pretty much all the new Disney DVDs that ever come out all have it on, so you can do that. The same for adult films as well, because Kieran's downloaded some of the adult ones on there. Go and have a look through the films you've got at home, which ones have digital downloads. You've got Sky Go. This is probably more for the airport. You can do like a hotspot from your phone, and you can watch something on Sky Go that you can download. So we do that a lot. If we're doing road trips around England, we'll download stuff for Penelope from Sky Go, and then Kieran will do a hotspot from his phone to the iPad, and she can watch that in the back of the car. Digital downloads are a really good way to keep your kids entertained, and also making use of those digital downloads, because I didn't even know they existed until someone bought Penelope Sing on DVD for her birthday, and it worked out really well because she could watch it on the iPad. Taking off is a big one, because some kids get scared, your ears pop. I don't know about you, I absolutely hate, you know, when you get that popping sensation in your ears, you feel like someone's covering your ears up, and oh, I just really hate that. Well, it's really, really horrible. So I always get like chewy sweets for myself. But one good tip is, if your baby is bottle fed, to give your baby the bottle whilst you're taking off. This didn't work well for us, because we started giving Henry the bottle because we were just ready for taking off, and then the pilot goes like, oh sorry, there's a queue on the runway, and by the time the queue had gone, he'd finished his bottle, so then we just put his dummy in so he could suck on his dummy. Penelope, I gave her some chewy sweets to chew on whilst we was taking off, but the same, you could give them like a juice to suck on, and just keep telling them like suck on it, just so they don't get that popping sensation, because it can be quite painful. And a lot of the time when kids are crying, like babies are crying, it's because they've got that sensation. So if they're breastfed, you can, you know, like breastfeed the baby whilst you're taking off, so that it's just so that the baby is suckling on something, so that it's getting that sensation, so that its ears are not popping, because that must be awful. They can't tell you, all they can do is cry, and the last thing you want then is to be on a 4-hour flight with a crying baby. So that is a really good tip to know about. A really good thing to do when you're actually on holiday is to plan your day in advance. And I know you're thinking, well, I'm on holiday, I don't want to be making plans, I just want to go with the flow, which is all well and good when it's just you as an adult, and that's fine. But when you've got kids, it's not always that easy. So for example, like I let Kieran pack the bag one day. I know it was my own fault, I should have seen it coming. He forgot to pack the milk. I know. How? I don't know. He forgot to pack the milk powder, and he forgot to pack the wipes as well. So it was two things he forgot to pack, which were really simple. It was only when Henry needed his bottle, I was like, there's no milk powder in here. So he had to go all the way back up to the room to get the milk to come back. And it was quite a bit of a walk. So I was like, oh, that's so frustrating. Henry's screaming for his bottle, and I'm trying to distract him, take him for walks. Oh, it just was a bit of a nightmare. But it's not just that, like, yeah, we forgot that, so Kieran's had to go to the room, and it's a a bit of a pain that he's had to go back to the room. But then, like say, if you're going to go to the pool and then you're going to go to the beach for a bit, have you got the right things for both? Because do you want to be traipsing back up to the room, especially if you're a single parent and it's just you and your child, because you're going to have to pack everything up, traipse up to your room with the kids or whatever, and you're going to have to stop them playing to go back up to your room to get that one thing that you could have got in the morning. I like to plan the night ahead. I do that at home. What I normally do is pack the bag at night time, so I knew that I had everything for the next day, and it'd be like, right, well, what do you fancy doing tomorrow? All right, shall we go to the beach? Okay, so we're going to need the bucket and the spade, and we're going to need the sun cream, and we're going to need a change of clothing, and we're going to need this, and we're going to need that. Right, and we got it all outlined up ready, and we put it in the bag. And then that was fine. We had everything there that we needed, and we're not faffing about and getting to the beach and thinking, oh, we forgot the spade, you can't do the bucket and spade, we can't do sandcastles, you know, just that sort of thing that it's not going to ruin your holiday, but it's going to just miff you off a little bit. And if you have to keep running back up to your room for things, that's going to get annoying. So just make sure you plan your day out and you know what you're doing, and you get your things that you need for that day, so you're not having to and fro with your room, because it is not that easy with children. And my final tip is to enjoy yourself. Yes, you're going on holiday with children. It's going to be hard work, because kids can be really hard work anyway. It's all new. It's all a big change for them. Going on holiday is a big thing for an adult, but for a child it's massive. They're in a new environment. Everything's different. They're out of the routine. They're hooked up on ice cream and they're acting like hooligans. But so what? It's your holiday. You work hard all year to pay for this holiday. You may only get one holiday a year. Just live your best life on that holiday. Don't get worried about the stressful things. We had two really stressful situations happen on holiday. One, we got there and we couldn't get through passport control because we was told wrong information, and we were stuck there for an hour. And I was getting really stressed about it, but then we sorted it an hour later and everything worked out fine. And I was getting really stressed, and that was stress for nothing. So it started the holiday off to a bad start. And then on the way back, we missed our flight. It wasn't our fault. We didn't get picked up by the tour operator. They didn't pick us up. And we missed our flight, and I was in tears and I was in bits, but luckily they put us on the next flight. It was only an hour later. It got sorted, and at that moment in time, whilst I was crying my eyes out, I'm thinking, this holiday is ruined. Don't do that. If something bad happens, it'll work itself out. It'll sort itself out. So don't worry. You know, if your kid's acting up, they're going to act up at home. So don't think, oh, they're ruining the holiday because they've had a tantrum, because they would have had the tantrum at home. You're in this lovely new place. You've paid all that money to get there. Just enjoy every minute of it. Let the rubbish bits, you know, the hard work bits, because again, it's not the same as going by yourselves as two adults. You've got these human beings that you have to look after, that sometimes they're hell-bent on making your life hard work no matter where you go, but they would be doing the same thing at home. So just enjoy every minute of it. Take a deep breath. Go for a walk, go for a swim, and try and just like relax as much as you can do with children, and enjoy the nice weather wherever you go, and just enjoy yourself, because like I said, we don't get holidays all the time. We work damn hard for them holidays, and the memories for the kids that are going to last, they're on holiday too, they're all excited. So we just try and make it the most enjoyable time for all of you. Even if you're finding something that's really, really hard work, if you're there with a partner, so like me and my husband, Penelope had a couple of times where she was having really bad tantrums because she's 3 years old. Like we had one day we went to the beach and she was awful, like absolutely awful. So me and Kieran took it in turns, like to go for a walk with Henry, and the other one stayed with her while she was having an awful meltdown because we didn't know what was wrong with her. She was just having one of those days. So we took it in turns to go and have a break, because you need that. And you know, like Kieran's on holiday too, I'm on holiday, Henry's on holiday, he doesn't want to be listening to it. The same as when Henry was getting overheated and he's crying all the time. So again, we'd take it in turns. I'd go and take Penelope swimming, or Kieran would go and take Penelope swimming, and you're just having fun and you know, so you still get those fun bits and you just enjoy yourself. Like don't let those little niggly bad things, or even if something big happens like you miss your flight, it will get sorted. So don't worry and don't let it ruin your holiday, and enjoy it. Thank you for watching my video today. I hope you found these tips helpful. I hope they weren't too rambly. But yeah, those are the best things I can advise if you're travelling with children. If you've got any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next one.